and welcome to my YouTube channel, AySuga Naija Lifestyle YouTube channel. And I want to first off thank you so much for your comments. Thank you very much for those who just subscribed. And thank you for those who have liked our video, those who have kept up with us. And for your suggestions, thank you also. Yeah, well. So much really we've talked about in previous editions. And today we're looking at something totally different. I'm looking at domestic abuse from a different perspective. A whole lot of people, and me inclusive, condemn domestic abuse. Domestic violence, totally not supposed to be part of our society. And I frown at it. I condemn it, and I think that those who go ahead to do it should be taken to the prison, should, have the time, if they commit the crime, in jail. Okay, so if you do that, it is totally unacceptable. It is totally not supposed to be part of a society. So I stand with those who condemn it, but where I come in this day is, how do we resolve this matter? Are we going to continue dealing with those people or allow them to kill the victims, talking about the women now who are involved, and we're not going to totally nip it in the bud because it goes on from generation to generation and it's turned into a big monster. And lots of us want to just deal with it on social media, talk about it and condemn people without really tracing or investigating the root cause of this. Well, to me, I feel the men who get involved, we should take our time to trace their origin, to trace, their family lineage, and know if this has been something or this was happening while daddy and mommy, were together, and while they were young, and they saw it happen, and they thought it was the right way to go. And when they grew up, they also got engaged or got married or had a girlfriend or two, and continued the same thing they learned, while living with their parents. And everybody thought, okay, if a man continues doing that, we should just deal with him, arrest him, take him to the prison, and he comes out after serving his time, and he goes back to it, and even sometimes murder such victim, or maybe somebody else would be a victim after the separation of that particular marriage. Are we going to continue looking at that, or are we going to trace and deal with? Do we have experts? I think we do, who can help these people who have a psychological damage, so to speak, and they don't handle things in a manner that human beings handle them. So definitely we need to trace that and help these people, because they really do need help. Because I just don't imagine, or I can't even imagine a man laying his hands on my two daughters. I'm going to kill somebody. Someone please call 911. What I'm going to do, I just can't even say on set. So certainly I will just leave it at that. So that means that I'm not going to in any way encourage it. Then two, how do we train our kids who are girls? Some of them grow up in a society where it is easy to just badmouth somebody. It is easy to abuse, like we call it in this part of the world. It is easy to say things that are not so appropriate. It's so easy. Some women are so flippant. They can just say anything and get away with it, and they think it's just the right thing to do. Maybe not knowing rather, the origin of this kind of men, and the next thing you got engaged to this man or is your boyfriend, and you too, your mouth no good. You get bad mouth. You sabi abuse people, you sabi call people names, you sabi do, all this is where men know they like, things that men will not welcome on a good day. The male sex was built by God to have ego, some kind of pride, you want to say. But it's not our fault. That's the way we actually were formed. And a whole lot of people will argue women these days want to share equal rights with men. You know, I don't want to go into that debate right now. I'm not even ready for it, but we'll talk about it one day and see how we can really say it and lay it bare and not afraid whose ox is God. But we'll talk about it, like I said, some other time. But we're dealing with this now. How do our women relate with our men? Do they run them down? Do they speak in an ill-mannered way to their men? Do you totally disrespect your man? You know, speak about him in the public or even in public in a very bad manner? And you think or expect that the man keeps quiet and not react? Of course, maybe in the midst of other people I will be seen as a weakling. Maybe some of them will think, okay, you don't finish, Abi. Why don't reach out to go deal with the matter? And when he brings it up, it turns to booze, booze. Encouraging, but not appreciating the fact that some men go violent when they're supposed to dialogue with their spouses or with their girlfriends or whoever. It is best to sit down, resolve amicably whatever the issue is. But if you know you're going to go violent, you need to seek the help of a helper. I'm not just talking helper in quote. Apart from praying for God to help you out of it, you also need that to control or being able to handle your anger, you know, and whatever drives you to that. You also need to talk to somebody that can talk you out of that shit you find yourself in. But for our women, you need to learn to bridle your tongues. A lot of women have driven men crazy, including even driving some of them out of their lives. And it's not as though that man is a bad guy, you know. But because you feel that, oh, you expect something or you're comparing the man to another man out there, and you're not even seeing the hustle and bustle of a country or the economy of where he works or the challenge he may face. Some of them may have even married these men while they were buoyant, while they were rich, and that was the attracting point for a woman, which we know, you know. So when the cash is there, women will always, you know, come follow you by, yeah, with due respect to women, but a lot of women do, while some don't. But it happens, you know. But how do we handle this matter? Are we going to continue docking this man and eventually even murdering some of them and cutting short their time on earth because they are violent, and we're not helping or we're not ready to deal with the matter regarding why they go violent when it's just supposed to, you know, dialogue? I want to read from you. I want to hear you say one or two things about this and not coming at me. You don't need to. We want to deal with this matter. I'm not, like I said, I'm not encouraging domestic violence, and I condemn it totally. And I say such men who do that, like I said, I have 2 daughters. Such men who do that should be docked, should serve their time, because they do the crime, they must serve their time, and they'll pay for whatever dastardly act they put up, you know, with their spouses, with their girlfriends, and whoever. So while we're also trying to deal with such men, we also need to trace and even help our kids, the male folks, the young boys, those out in the streets. Talk to them and tell them, don't hit a woman, it is wrong. Don't even hit anybody. You can go as well as defending yourself, okay, but there are law enforcement agents around that you can report any case of violence to, you know. So definitely the way to handle our matter must still be civil. But for those who do it, we must deal with them. But while dealing with them, we must also try to help them because they are in a mess. I'm talking about the guys who hit women, who come so violently, you know, to attack a woman. While the women need to also teach their girls who are growing up and will become mothers tomorrow, or become wives tomorrow, become girlfriends tomorrow, to also learn to be cautious when they are speaking to a man. Some women, you can't stand them when they speak in the public or even inside the house to a man or to anybody. Totally unacceptable. We must learn to bridle our tongue as women so that we'll also be able to keep our homes in peace and in harmony. Well, that's my time. Like I said, I would expect your comments and appreciate you. Send them through. and also hit the buttons, help subscribe, and also help to like this particular episode of AySuga Naija Lifestyle. Of course, we'll come up with more, especially in 2020. We're going to load you up with lots of things we should talk about that we're avoiding and we don't want to really talk about. We think we should leave it the way it is in the society, and I wonder who's going to deal with it for us. Till I come your way again next time, I remain AySuga. Have a great time. Bye-bye.